What's cooking at Hallis Hall? This is not the franchise we once knew. Bears Nation. In the last 72 hours, 4 bombshells have erupted that will redefine our next decade. First, a front office titan just secured power until 2029 with a blueprint that'll shake the NFC North. Coincidence that their extension aligns with moves you'd never imagine? Second, our pro bowler on defense just unwrapped the toxic truth of the previous regime, and what he revealed about the new leadership will leave you speechless. Third, that offensive young beast everyone underestimated. ESPN has a projection that'll expose why he'll be the most wanted in end zones. And fourth, the secret weapon Ben Johnson used against the US last year is now in our playbook. This isn't a rebrand, it's a revolution. Or do you think it's normal to have this level of leak info days before training camp? Subscribe now or stay in the dinosaur age. Every second you wait, another fan is discovering this first. Which side do you want to be on when the news no one is talking about explodes? Chicago's front office just dropped the year's biggest bombshell, and I can't keep quiet. Ryan Poles, our general manager, just signed an extension to stay through 2029. Do you realize what this means? We're talking about 5 more years of Ryan Poles building the future of this franchise. Let me give you context because this decision is deeper than it seems. Poles arrived in 2022 at just 36 years old, straight from Kansas City, where he learned from one of the best organizations in the NFL. And guess what? At 39, he now has the full support of Kevin Warren and the McCaskey family until 2029. Do you think it's a coincidence this extension happens just as Ben Johnson also signed until 2029? I say no! This organization finally grasped something it took decades to learn. Long-term stability is what separates winners from losers. After 3 seasons with a combined record of 15-36, after seeing Matt Eberflus dismissed mid-season, after all the questionable decisions, Kevin, Warren and the organization decided Poles is the man. And you know what? I think they're right, but let me explain why. Wait to hear the full context. Poles came in 2022 from Kansas City with a clear vision, rebuild from scratch. No patches, no temporary fixes. Rebuild. Remember when we were all shouting that we needed to win now? Poles knew that was exactly what had destroyed this franchise for decades. The trade with Carolina in 2023 that got us the first pick of 2024 was a mastermind move only a GM with foresight could make. Remember when we all doubted? Why give Carolina the first pick? Why not keep Justin Fields? Turned out that move brought us Caleb Williams. Do you grasp the complexity of that transaction? Poles not only orchestrated the trade, but calculated exactly where Carolina would end in 2024. That's strategic brilliance. While other GMs think about this year's draft, Poles was thinking 2 years ahead. Last year's acquisitions spoke for themselves. Keenan Allen, DeAndre Swift, all intended to assist Williams in his transition. But did you notice the details? Allen wasn't just a seasoned receiver, he was specifically a receiver who could teach Williams to read complex defenses. Swift wasn't just a running back, he was a back who could pass protect and offer check down options for a rookie quarterback. And this year, Joe Thuney and Jonah Jackson to protect our quarterback of the future. That's strategic thinking, folks. Poles identified the exact problem. Williams took 68 sacks last season, more than any other quarterback in the league. And what did he do? He secured 2 all-pro guards and extended them until 2027. Do you see the pattern? Poles isn't making desperate moves, he's systematically constructing. Drew Dalman at center for 3 years too. Now we have an offensive line that can shield Williams in the coming years. If that surprises you, wait to hear what Jaylon Johnson just unveiled about what truly went down with Matt Eberflus, our defensive captain. Our sole 2024 Pro Bowler just unleashed the harshest truth about the previous regime in an interview. With Fox 32 Chicago, Jaylon Johnson revealed what exactly went wrong with Eberflus and why Ben Johnson is entirely different. What I'm going to share will completely alter how you view last year's events. First, let me remind you who Jaylon Johnson is. 5 years in the league, Pro Bowler 2024. A 4-year extension showcasing that this organization sees him as a key future piece. And you know what? Johnson has never feared speaking the truth, even when it hurts. Remember the brutal Thanksgiving loss to Detroit? Johnson confronted Eberflus directly after that game. Do you grasp what that means? Your number one cornerback, your captain, your Pro Bowler, standing up to the head coach and telling him the truth. That doesn't happen without reason. Know what Johnson said about the new staff? Loud and aggressive. But wait, there's more. Johnson stated Ben Johnson has established a certain tone since he arrived. Do you understand what that means coming from a player who's seen multiple coaching staffs? But here's the part that'll shock you. When asked about the difference with the previous staff, Johnson was brutally candid. He said with the new staff, there's no tolerance for excuses or lack of preparation. That's exactly what we needed after years of inconsistent discipline. And you know what else Johnson unveiled? The locker room already feels the difference in accountability. Players know this coaching staff won't let them slack or give anything less than their best effort. That's winning culture, folks. Dude, you think it's a coincidence that Johnson, being one of the most respected defensive leaders on the team, is speaking so positively about a change? I think not. Johnson has seen enough football to know when a coaching staff truly understands how to build a winning culture. But that's nothing compared to what lies ahead for Rome Odunze. Our star receiver is about to explode in his second season. Mike Clay of ESPN just made a prediction that'll entirely change how you perceive this young talent. The numbers being projected will blow your mind. Clay predicts that Rome Odunze will score between 8 and 10 touchdowns in 2025. Do you grasp what that means? In his rookie season, he scored just 4 touchdowns. We're talking more than double his production. And why is Clay so confident? Because he analyzed what transpired in 2024. Rome had 78 receptions for 1,077 yards, but only 4 touchdowns. Is that normal for a receiver with such volume? Absolutely not. And you know what the issue was? Caleb Williams. In the red zone, Williams completed just 54.5% of his passes. That's terrible. Clay calculated that Rome had at least 4 to 5 touchdown opportunities that Williams missed due to accuracy issues. Do you think Williams will have the same problems in his second season? I'm telling you, no. With a year of experience, with a better offensive line, with more chemistry with Rome, those numbers are going to skyrocket. And you know what's most exciting? Rome now has Luther Burden and Colston Loveland to help open up the field. That means he'll have more one-on-one matchups. And when Rome has single coverage, he wins. Clay also mentioned that Rome's route running is already at an elite level. Did you see his cuts last year? For a rookie, his precision was incredible. Now imagine that with a quarterback who can make more accurate throws. And just when you thought we were done, here comes the really wild part. Turns out our new head coach, when he was Detroit's offensive coordinator, designed a play specifically to target TJ Edwards. What I'm about to tell you about this play will change how you view Ben Johnson's tactical mentality entirely. The play was called Stumble Bomb, and it was a masterpiece of deception that resulted in a 21-yard touchdown to Sam Laporta in Week 16. Did you see that play? I watched it live and even I got confused. Jared Goff and Jahmyr Gibbs pretended to stumble, the entire offensive line shouting, "Fumble," but it was all theatrics. And you know what's most impressive? It was entirely designed to specifically confuse TJ Edwards. Not just any linebacker, specifically TJ. Can you grasp the level of preparation that requires? In the Netflix special Quarterback, Goff explained precisely how Johnson planned it all. All we're trying to do is get the guy who's running with a sneaky, because it's TJ Edwards, who's like all over that. All we're trying to get him to do is take his eyes off it, and then we're going to sneak behind him. Did you hear that? Johnson had studied so much tape, he knew exactly how TJ Edwards reacts in coverage. He knew Edwards is so smart that he would be on the lookout for trick plays. So he crafted a trick play specifically to outwit his intelligence. And do you know where Johnson got the idea? From watching Jordan Love against us. Love actually fumbled the snap but recovered for a big gain against our defense earlier in the season. Johnson saw this and thought, I can do that better, but controlled. Do you understand the mental process? Johnson saw a play that worked against Chicago, analyzed why it worked, and then improved on it. That's next level coaching. But here's what excites me most. Johnson not only designed this play, but he saved it for the perfect moment. Do you recall the score? Detroit was up 27-14 in the third quarter. Johnson could have used a regular play, but wanted to put the game away definitively. And you know what? It worked. That play gave Goff his career-high 33rd touchdown pass of the season. Johnson turned a trick play into a record-setting moment. But here's the coolest part. Now Johnson is on our side. All that creativity, all that meticulous preparation, all that ability to read the opposing defense now works for the Bears. Bears fans, this is absolutely historic. We've just witnessed 4 massive developments that will change the trajectory of this franchise for the next decade. We have Ryan Poles building for the future up to 2029 with Kevin Warren's complete backing. 5 years of stability this organization hasn't had in decades. Do you realize what that means for player development, draft strategy, free agency planning? We have a locker room that finally has real accountability with Ben Johnson. Jalen Johnson, our Pro Bowl captain, literally told us this staff won't tolerate excuses. When was the last time we heard a player so confident about their coaching staff? We have Rome Odunze ready to explode as the #1 receiver. Mike Clay from ESPN predicts he'll more than double his touchdowns. And you know what? The numbers support it. All of the 2024 underperformance was because Williams wasn't giving him catchable balls. And we have a head coach who's already proved he can design plays specifically to beat individual players. The stumble bum play against TJ Edwards was pure genius. And now all that creativity is working for us. Do you think Poles deserves this extension after all he's built? I think yes. Do you feel Ben Johnson will be the leader of this locker? Room needed? Absolutely. And are you ready to see Rome Odunze become the WR1 we always knew he could be? But here's my most important question. Do you believe this combination of stability in the front office, real on-field leadership, explosive offensive creativity, and accountability throughout the organization will finally bring Chicago back to the playoffs for the first time since 2020? Because I'm telling you this is the first time in years we have alignment from the owner to the GM to the head coach to the players. Kevin Warren supporting Poles, Poles supporting Johnson, Johnson empowering leaders like Jalen Johnson. Do you feel that energy? I haven't felt this optimistic about Bears football since 2018. And this time is different because it's built on a foundation, not just hope. Let me know in the comments what you think of these 4 stories that will change this franchise's path. Which one excites you most? Poles' extension, the revelations about Eberflus, the prediction about Rome, or Ben Johnson's genius? And if you feel this is the year everything changes for the Bears, that 2025 will be the start of a new era. Give this video a like, because this is our Bears family. You're part of this community that lives and breathes navy and orange. Subscribe to the channel because I guarantee you, tomorrow we'll have more explosive news about our Chicago Bears. Don't miss what's coming for this city. Subscribe, turn on the bell, and we'll be the loudest voice of Bears Nation on YouTube. Bear down Chicago. See you in the next video where we'll break down exactly why each of these developments is going to impact our 2025 season.